Good morning, students. Good morning. Can you hear me? Yes or no? All of you, please turn on your video. Varsha, Krupa, good morning. Okay, Varshita, Sana, Asuma, and who is that? Raipuram Prasanna Raja, or what is your name? I can't read promptly. And here, okay, Ahmad, Mustaq Ahmad. Good morning once again. Welcome to Sanvi Learning Services. What's up? What's up? Okay then. Nitin, please wake up, Nitin. Good morning. Okay, good. Good, Nitin. Huh? What is next? I hope you all completed your meditation. How many of you? All of you turn on your videos first. On your videos, not like thumbs ups is not enough. Okay, please show me your face. Okay, good. Shall we do 2 minutes meditation then after start the session or directly enter into the topic? Oh, so like somebody feeling very sad, I think, when I talk about meditation. Am I right? Yes. Okay, good. So then start now. All of you, please close your eyes. Is it right? Close your eyes, please. Sit properly. Varsha, I hope you can hear me. Yes, sit right. Close your eyes. Risha, take three long breath. Leave all the thoughts. Concentrate on your breath. Close your eyes. Nitin, don't try to cheat yourself. Close your eyes. Slowly inhale and exhale. Concentrate on your breath. Okay, take 5 long breaths. Okay, now rub your hands Massage your face, hands. Slowly open your eyes. Good morning. Okay, good. Good morning. With a lot of energy, I think. Am I right? Yes, fine. So that is the importance of meditation in our day-to-day life. Many students cheated me, I think, not doing meditation promptly. Dear children, every day you must do meditation before you attend the class or whatever it may be. Before you do any work, you have to do meditation. It improve your concentration. Okay, fine. Okay, dear students, in the last session we have discussed about atmosphere. Is it for chapter and elements of in atmosphere and different layers in the atmosphere? And after that, we have discussed about wind and the wind movement. Then after precipitation, different types of precipitation. I think you can recall all those chapters. Am I right? Topics. Okay, fine. Today we are going to discuss about the fifth chapter, biosphere. And before that, let me ask you: how many of you completed your CWs? Updated CWs, please. Thumbs up. CW updation. If not, okay, good, very good, very good. With Neha, Satvika, Zihan, okay, fine. Okay, good, good, good. Varsha, okay, fine, very good. Okay, so Anindra, I can't go through all. Okay, fine. Anyway, almost all students completed, I think, and rest. All students, you must write your CWs on time. Okay, so hereafter we won't get time. If you keep aside, later you will face a lot of pain because at time all the notes it's not possible. So update your notes. Now let me ask you before we enter into topic, just let me ask you some questions related to the topic. You all know that biosphere is one of the realm of the earth, yes or no, or region of the earth. How many regions are there? Lithosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere, and atmosphere. These are the realms of the earth. In the last session, we have discussed about atmosphere and many terms I have given you: Coriolis effect, trade wind. This all we have learned. Okay, today we are going to discuss about biosphere and natural vegetation in bio. What do you mean by biosphere? Life. Bio means life. Am I right? Okay, Shiva Naga Prasanna, please tell me what do you know about biosphere?
So bio means life,
Yes.
lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere.
No, no. Talk about only biosphere. What do you know about biosphere? You can share.
Is in biosphere. That means we can live which area we can live is also biosphere.
Okay, Earth is one of the planet which we can see bio or life. Am I right? That we call biosphere. The sphere which contain like living organisms, we can say. Am I right? Living things. So generally, human being, animals, plants, all come under that. Okay, that we call biosphere. Okay, let us see some more about biosphere. What is biosphere? The definition of biosphere. Please, all of you, look at the screen now. I hope everyone can see the screen. Is it? Yes. What you can see on the screen? Biosphere. Am I right? Biosphere in the sense animals and plants and like we have different terms for these all: carnivorous, herbivorous, omnivorous. You all already familiar with these words, I think. Am I right? So all we can see on the planet or our earth. Generally, we call it as biosphere. Okay, so here you have our aim is to know about biosphere, and today we are going to discuss about the following topics: biosphere, natural vegetation, different kinds of forest. Okay, forest also part of biosphere. I have told you in the beginning. And next year, all of you please look at the screen and go through the terms. Okay, moderate in the sense avoid extreme. When it comes to moderate climate, we can say in equatorial region. It means not extreme, it means like normal, hot, and all climatical changes we can see. So that type of like avoid extreme of behavior, generally we call moderate. Next is constitute nothing, it's like coordinating. It means generally we months constitute a year. Did you hear about that? Month constitute a year. It means several months including that. Altogether, we can say that a year. And the same way, significant, important, importance. Okay, significant. Next is herbivorous. What do you mean by herbivorous? Animal that only eat plants. Animal which eat plants, only eat plants, we call herbivorous. Herbivorous we have. Carnivorous. What do you mean by carnivorous? Animals which eat flesh. Yes or no? That generally we call carnivorous. And what is omnivorous? Both human being, example we can say. Animal and plants both eat. Okay, so that we call omnivorous. And next is exterminate, abolish, or to get rid of, we can say. What is the term? Exterminate. You have in the content book that term, please. Next is detrimental. What is the meaning of that? Harmful or damaging, generally we call detrimental. Okay, fine. Next is carcass, age term you have. Dead body of animals, generally we call carcass. Okay, carcass. And deciduous forest, already you have learned, I think, deciduous forest. What do you mean by deciduous? For trees which shed their leaves. Okay, deciduous forest. Different types of forest we will discuss in this chapter, then you will get more idea about that. Okay, so once again, moderate, constitute, significant, herbivorous, exterminate, and detrimental, carcass, deciduous. Okay, either take screenshot, otherwise write it in your running note. Got it? So later you can go through this. Whenever you read the concept, you will get an idea about it. Without knowing the terms, you are unable to understand the concept. Okay, fine. Next, let us enter into our topic: biosphere, origin, structure, and development. See, definition of biosphere in the first sheet you can see. Okay, only today we are going to discuss about the introduction part and some topics related to the concept. Okay, not textual understanding. Okay, very important terms which is related to biosphere. Today we are going to discuss. And here first is definition of biosphere. The biosphere, you know, the life, biosphere, life. Okay, so is a global of total all ecosystem. What is ecosystem? Please note it down. Group of living organisms that live live in and interact with each other. Generally, we call ecosystem. What do you mean by forest ecosystem or ecosystem? Generally, ecosystem meaning is group of living organisms that live in and interact with each other. Generally, we call ecosystem. Okay, in a global sum of all ecosystem that can be termed the zone of life on the earth, a closed system apart from solar and cosmic radiation and heat from the interior of the earth, largely self-regulating. This is the definition of, see what is in that bracket, apart from solar and cosmic radiation. So atmosphere, there you can see the importance of atmosphere. Atmosphere is a protective layer already, you know. Okay, it protects us from all rays which emitted from the sun. So the place where like bios or human like life we can see, that we call biosphere. Like biosphere has a protective layer, generally we call it atmosphere. A closed system is actually apart from solar and cosmic radiation and heat from the interior of the earth. Okay, this is the definition of biosphere. And now a clear idea from where we got this term and when everything you can see on the screen. The term biosphere was introduced by Austrian geologist, the person who study about geography, okay, or earth or landforms. Okay, so in 1875, When? 1875. The biosphere is a total sum of all living, according to him, the biosphere is a total sum of all living organisms and part of physical environment, which are being changed by the vital activity of organisms. In other words, the part of the Earth's surface and atmosphere in which there are living organisms. This definition, this is the exact definition. What's the first term? What they have explained? Some organisms and part of physical environment which are being changed by the vital activity. It means, you know, each and from origin of the Earth. We have discussed in the first or second chapter about the origin of the universe, Big Bang theory. After that, some changes occurred in the microorganisms and like new living being formed on the Earth. Okay, so still it's going on. Suppose just an example, if you tell a virus, coronavirus, am I right? Corona already, we can, before previous, it means some years ago also we have, or some years back, the same virus appeared in the, on the earth. But even now changed its character, it seems. Is it? Yes. Now it's highly affected on the human being or all the living being. Got it? So the same changes is occurring. That changes happen, that we evolution of the earth. Many terms we can say. Okay, in the living organisms. So in other words, a part of the earth's surface and atmosphere in which there are living organisms. So fine. Now, use of the term biosphere. The term biosphere was coined by geologist Edward Sears in 1875, which he defined as the place on the earth's surface where life dwells is called biosphere. Very simple one word answer. What do you mean by biosphere? If you get, you can write this answer. The place on the earth's surface where life dwells is called, whose word it is, who found it? This 1875 geologist Edward Sears, the person he coined by the geologist Edward Sears in 1875, which he defined as the place on the earth's surface where life dwells is called biosphere. Okay, if you want, write it in your running note. Okay, so this is a one word answer for the question, biosphere. Okay, if you get a question, what do you mean by biosphere? See the mark and write, and if it is a 2 marks or 3 marks question, like some more topics you have to add with that. Okay, the term used by Edward Sears in 1875. Okay, got it? Yes. Now see the same picture, the last chapter, like beginning, when we discuss about the realms of the earth. One thing you must remember here, this is biosphere. Biosphere on the lithosphere. Atmosphere protective layer which protect the living being. Hydrosphere also very essential for biosphere. And it means like without any of the realm or the region, biosphere can't survive on the earth. Am I right? It means it has close connection to all other realms or all other regions, even if it is atmosphere or hydrosphere or lithosphere. You all know the terms, I think. Yes or no? Atmosphere in the sense like the invisible gases which presents in the on the earth, that we generally call a mixture of different gases on the earth. Generally we call atmosphere. The same way hydrosphere water, and lithosphere in the sense land. Okay, so that's what here you can see this circle. It means it has close connection to. Without any realm, biosphere can't survive. Got it? Yes. And next is here the functions of the organisms in the biosphere. Many functions is nothing but here, like every microorganisms has some role. See, energy transformation. Green plants convert light energy into chemical energy that animal use. Thus, chemical energy is distributed between all living. See, here already you know photosynthesis process. What is photosynthesis? Plants which produce food. That process. Yes or no? So that also has key role too, like one or another connected to one or another. That we can see here. And maintaining the gas content O2 is released in the process of photosynthesis, and carbon dioxide in the process of respiration. The constant quantity of O2 and CO2, oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is a result of vital activity of organisms. Now we can understand dependency. Am I right? Each and every living things or living beings connect one or another. It means we depends on plant, plant depends on us. Am I right? In the biosphere. It means we get oxygen, we release carbon dioxide, which are useful for the plant. Okay, so each and every, so next you see the same picture I have told you, like see ecosphere, nothing but here you can see forest area, plants, and atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere. Here, generally we can say that this is biosphere. Okay, forest ecosystem, biosphere, all covered. Yellowish, see here. It means biosphere itself includes this all. Without any element, we cannot survive. Okay, sometimes you may get a question, they may give a circle, some concept they will give and ask you to fill rest. What you supposed to do? You must remember these points because first round overall biosphere and it includes this all atmosphere, a forest ecosystem, hydrosphere, lithosphere. Connection to each and everything you can see here. Ecosphere, it means nothing but the plants. Okay, so now boundaries of the biosphere. Is there any boundary for the biosphere? We must understand because up to what extent we can see this biosphere. It means microorganisms or living beings. Atmosphere boundary, the ozone layer, spores of microorganisms can be encountered at height of 22 kilometers. Up to ozone also, we can see some sort of living being 22 kilometers from the earth surface. And where it is in the atmosphere boundary. Note it down. This is an additional information or knowledge for you. The ozone layer, spores of microorganisms can be encountered or found at height of 22 kilometer height. And hydrosphere in water boundary, living organisms are encountered even the Mariana Trench, the deepest trench on the world we can say. Am I right? Under the water. In the Pacific Ocean. Already we have learned in the previous classes that all about. Okay, Mariana Trench. And next is lithosphere on the earth. A great number of bacteria are found in the oil wells at the depth of 2 kilometers and very few bacteria are found at the depth of 4 kilometers in the bottom or under the soil we can say. This is the boundaries of biosphere. Note it down. Boundaries of biosphere. Okay, on all other lengths they have given here in the atmosphere, in the hydrosphere, in the lithosphere. Once again, in the atmosphere, the ozone layer, spores of microorganisms can be encountered at height of 22 kilometers. In the hydrosphere, in the water, even in Mariana Trench we can say. The deepest trench in the sense crack or pores or crack on the earth generally we call trench. Am I right? Yes. And lithosphere, in lithosphere boundary, a great number of bacteria are found in oil wells, oil mining at the depth of 2 kilometers. And moreover, very few bacteria are found at the depth of 4 kilometer depth. Okay, so this is all about boundaries. And once more here you have food chain, already you have learned. We have a food chain in the biosphere. What is that food chain? Already frog eat grass and snake eat frog and eagle eats snake. So this is a cycle, like a food chain or biological cycle you can say. Food chain we can say. Okay, this also we can see on the biosphere. Don't forget the terms whatever we discuss today because these all knowledge must before you enter into the topic. And next here, biosphere development and evolution. See, the biosphere came into being when life began on the earth. It's an estimate, it's not accurate. We can say we cannot blindly trust on this, because 3.5 billion years ago the life began on the earth. It seems since then the biosphere has constantly been changing as the species where diversity has been increasing. It has become more complex and its productivity has increased. So from that time onwards, what happened here, the constantly been changing, changes happening on the earth, some living being disappearing, the same way new living being or organisms appearing on the earth. A continuous change happening on the biosphere. Okay, so evolution of the biosphere or development. Okay, the origin of the universe we have discussed. After that, approximately 3.55 billion years ago, all the life began on the earth. And next here, see what is this? Animals cannot make their own food. Okay, some more. So they must eat plants and or other animals. They are called consumers or heterotrophs. A term, note it down. There are three groups of consumers or heterotrophs. Consumers, animals cannot make their own food, so they must eat plants and or other animals. Here we have that what three categories, so three types of consumers. What is that? Beginning you have herbivorous, carnivorous and omnivorous. They are called consumers. Or consumer is consume from or get it from others. Even you check yourself. How you producing? You are cultivating, but plants grow, we get food grains from that. Am I right? Or a tree grows, we get mango from that. Consumers or heterotrophs. There are three groups. First one is herbivorous. If anyone don't know the meaning of herbivorous, please note it down. Herbivorous are animals that only eat plants or plant products. They are also called primary consumers. Sometimes you may get a question, what do you mean by primary consumers? What do you mean by primary consumers or heterotrophs? Or heterotrophs, previous term, heterotrophs, primary consumers or heterotrophs. What are you supposed to write? Primary consumers in the sense herbivorous are animals that only eat plants or plant products are called primary consumers. Next is carnivorous, or animals that eat other animals. Examples you can see on the screen. Shark there, a lion, tiger. There are two kinds of carnivorous. See, can you see that? Yes. Next, omnivorous. Already I have told you what is omnivorous. These points you must remember. Animal that eat only plants, herbivorous. Animal that eat only animal, that is carnivorous. And omnivorous in the sense human being or some other animals which you can find eat more or both, like meat and plants. Got it? Yes. Now let us see ecosystem. Beginning have told you what is ecosystem. Very, very important. Many places in geography are like many places you may see this term. What is ecosystem? An ecosystem is a community of living organisms. Plants come under animals and microbes or microorganisms in conjunction with the non-living components of their environment. Things like air, water, minerals, soil. Okay, so interacting as a system. That generally we call ecosystem. In another definition, beginning I have given you what is that? Group of living organisms that live in and interact with each other is called ecosystem. Clear for all? Yes, we have a proper ecosystem on the universe. It means depend one or another in one way or another way. We depend on plants, we depend on animals. Don't think that I won't depend. I will not depend on anyone because you generally you may say that, but every time we depend on all other living things or living beings. Okay, fine. Now, natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation, textual concept. Already you have the same concept in the content book. And here I'm going to give you a short summary of this all. What is natural vegetation? See, what is a natural vegetation? Natural vegetation refers to the garment of plants and trees that exist in the area before it is modified by man for activities such as farming, mining, and industrial. What is farming, you know? What is mining, you know? What is lumbering? Nothing but systematic cutting of trees for the use of timber. Lumbering we call. And industrial, economic and urban development. Okay, what is natural vegetation? Natural vegetation refers to the garment, like garment in the sense, you know, of plants and trees that exists in an area before it is modified by man. Okay, human being modified everything, you know. Even now deforestation is happening. Why? Because of constructing building, industries, cutting down trees and mining. Okay, before it, that we call natural vegetation. Forest, we can say. We need natural vegetation because it helps us, human being and animal. How you know? How the natural vegetation helpful? Many terms like oxygen we get from the plants in many ways. Okay, and animals such as herbivores use it for food. This is called natural vegetation. Okay, so here in this you have natural vegetation includes grasslands, forest and shrubs. Grasslands, forest and what do you mean by shrub? A woody plant smaller than trees called shrubs generally. Okay, shrubs. Grassland, forest and shrub. You may heard about the term shrub, but meaning have like not down. Shrubs in the sense a woody plant smaller than trees generally we call shrubs. Forest, you know, grasslands, you know. Okay, so this is natural vegetation. See, in that first is what are forests? First thing, a forest also referred to as a wood or the woods is an area with high density of trees. Generally we call forest, as with cities, depending on various cultural definitions. Tree, forest cover approximately 9.4% of the Earth's surface. Actually, approximately they have given. Okay, 9.4% of the Earth's surface or 30% of the total land area. So they once covered much more, about 50% of the total land. They functions as habitats for organisms, hydraulic flow of modulators, and soil conserve. Different uses of forest they have given. They function. How they function? Habitat for organisms, hydrological flow. It means, you know, water, many like small streams, waterfalls, and soil conserves. Avoid soil erosion. Okay, it avoid soil erosion and constituting one of the most important aspects of the biosphere. This is called forest. Got it? What is forest? What do you mean by forest? If it is 2-mark question, you must explain this all. How much percentage covered and all. Okay, fine. Next year, Forest, different types of forest or classification of forest. Tropical deciduous forest, tropical evergreen forest, temperate deciduous forest, temperate evergreen forest, coniferous forest, and Mediterranean forest. Please note it down. Same concept you can see in the content book or textbook. So the classification of forest, once again, we will discuss all these now. So first one is tropical deciduous forest, tropical evergreen. Okay, tropical deciduous, tropical evergreen. Temperate deciduous, temperate evergreen. You know difference between deciduous and evergreen. Evergreen in the sense that the trees which never shed their leaves. Deciduous in the sense in this forest the trees shed their leaves. Did you get me? Especially in hot summer. In Telangana we can see deciduous forest, not evergreen forest. Okay, most of the time you just go like in the summertime, it means almost end of January. If you observe, you can see trees shed their leaves for a long time. But when it comes, when you visit the like Mysore area or Kerala or Karnataka area, you can see evergreen forest. It means they're receiving high amount of precipitation, so the trees never shed their leaves. Did you get me? So that we can see in that particular region wise, it may change according to the climate change or weather change. The trees, the vegetation also change. Okay, so that is the difference. That's what two columns I have given. And the same way, temperate deciduous and evergreen. It means tropical region, temperate zone, and coniferous or Mediterranean vegetation. It means three category. One is equatorial region, moderate climate. Next, coming to temperate zone. Different zones you can see on the earth. Am I right? The same way, different areas. They have classified according to that. Okay, fine. Now let us see what is this all different types of forest. And first one is tropical evergreen forest. These forests are also called tropical rainforest. What be another term? Tropical rainforest. Okay, tropical rainforest. We call it as tropical rainforest. These thick forests occur in the region near the equator and close to the tropics. Okay, near the equator and closer to the equator area. It means in the equatorial region. These regions are hot and receive heavy rainfall throughout the year. These regions are hot and receive heavy rainfall throughout the year. Both you just note down. That's what it is evergreen. Hot in the sense when the temperature increases, evaporation increase, more precipitation. Think in such a way. So this region receive heavy rainfall. As there is no particular dry season, the trees do not shed their leaves altogether. This is the reason they are evergreen. The thick canopies of the closely spaced trees do not allow the sunlight to penetrate inside the forest even in the daytime. See, canopy, a term you have. What do you mean by canopy? It's nothing but branches of the plants or trees. Very closer. It never allows the sun rays reaches the earth, it seems. Where in the evergreen forest. When it comes to deciduous forest, you know, it shed the leaves and sun rays reaches the earth. When it comes to tropical evergreen forest, thick canopy of the closely spaced trees do not allow the sunlight to penetrate inside the forest. What do you mean by penetration? It reaches. That's it. Inside the forest, even in the daytime. Hardwood like rosewood, ebony, mahogany are common here. Sandalwood also. Okay, these are the important trees which we can see in the tropical evergreen forest. Okay, classification of forest is very important. So you must remember all these points, how the forest system or forest area, and the same way how that plants or trees, what are the different types of trees which we can see in the tropic evergreen. These points you must remember when you remember think about tropical evergreen forest. I hope everyone understood first one. And coming to next, tropical deciduous forest. Tropical deciduous forest are the monsoon forest found in the large. What do you mean by monsoon forest? What do you mean by monsoon forest? Rainy season. Okay, it depends on southwest monsoon. That's what I've told in Telangana. Okay, especially in rainy season, new leaves sprout. Am I right? Yes, we can see on the trees. Large part of India, see, monsoon forest found in large part of India, north, and other than that, northern Australia and Central America. These regions experience seasonal changes. Trees shed their leaves in the dry season to conserve water. One more term. Trees shed their leaves to conserve water, it seems. How it's happened? Because you have to remember now evapotranspiration. What is the term? Evapotranspiration. In the beginning, in the previous chapter, we have discussed. What is evapotranspiration? Trees also leave water to the atmosphere. Am I right? That we call transpiration. When these trees shed their leaves, that transpiration won't happen there. Okay, so that's what here. These regions experience seasonal changes. Trees shed their leaves in the dry season to conserve water, and moreover, some thorny plants. If you observe that, small leaves you can see on that. Why? To decrease the transpiration or releasing water to the atmosphere. Okay, through that way, it conserves the water. The hardwood trees found in this forest are teakwood, neem, shisham, sal. These are the different trees which we can see. Please note it down and find out what is these all trees. Okay. And hardwood trees are extremely useful for making furniture, transport, and constructional material. And some of the animals which we can see in the tropical deciduous forest is tiger, lion, elephant, legos, and monkeys are the common animals of this region. Okay, these are the animals we can see in this region. This is all about tropical deciduous, tropical evergreen, tropical deciduous. Tropical evergreen is nothing but evergreen forest. A close canopy we can see in that forest, and trees won't shed their leaves. When it comes to tropical deciduous forest, and when it comes to India, we can see that most of the area or the forest found in a large part of India, including Telangana, you can note it down. Okay, so in your region and this forest or this region, mainly these plants depends on monsoon or southwest monsoon. Okay, so in that particular season only new leaves appear on the trees. Other time they shed their leaves to conserve the water. Okay, fine. So these are all about tropical deciduous forest. And temperate evergreen. After that region, you see the temperate evergreen forests are located in the mid-latitudinal coastal region. Where? The coastal region. They are commonly found along the eastern margin of the continents. Example in Southeast USA. Some example on the world, they have South China and in the Southeast Brazil. They comprise both hard and softwood trees where it is in coastal region. This type of trees or this type of evergreen, temperate evergreen in the coastal region, they comprise both hard and softwood trees like oak, pine, eucalyptus. Okay, these are the plants which we can see in the temperate evergreen zone or temperate evergreen forest. And next is temperate deciduous forest. As we go towards higher latitudes, there are major temperate deciduous forest. What do you mean by latitude? Higher latitudes. Yes, when it goes to higher latitude, what happens? Sunlight spread. Angle of incidence you have learned in the previous classes. Am I right? So these are found in the northeastern part of USA. Please locate these places on the map. Okay, China, New Zealand, Chile, and also found in the coastal region of Western Europe. They shed their leaves in the dry season. The common trees are oak, ash, beech, etc. Deer, foxes, wolves are the animal commonly found. Birds like peasants, monals are also found here, and different types of birds, animals which live in this forest they have given, and it is a high latitude area, and the place where it located you already given some places, east direction, eastern part of USA, China, New Zealand, and this if you find you will get a more idea. I have told you what is temperature zone, you already know, and in high latitude in the sense the sun rays reaches slantingly in that particular area, so there is no much more hot. Even though hot season, trees shed their leaves, it means normal. Okay, so trees shed their leaves and new plant, new trees, new leaves are sprouted on that in the next season. And Mediterranean, see what is that? The west and southwest margins of the continents are different. They have Mediterranean vegetation. It is mostly found in area around the Mediterranean Sea in the Europe, Africa, and Asia. Where it located, it mostly found in the areas around the Mediterranean Sea in the Europe, Africa, and Asia. This kind of vegetation is also found outside the actual Mediterranean region in California in the USA. Other than that, Southwest Africa, Southwestern South America, and Southwest Australia. Okay, please note it down where this like Mediterranean, and it's closer to the Mediterranean Sea. That's what we got, Mediterranean vegetation. Okay, so the places very important. Please note it down. And regions are marked for hot, dry summer and midday rainy winters. What is the meaning of mildy? Gentle manner or gentle rain. Okay, not very heavier. Okay, and citrus fruits such as oranges, figs, olives, grapes are common cultivated here because people have removed the natural vegetation in order to cultivate. There isn't much wildlife here. Where? In the Mediterranean forest. Okay, please take a screenshot of this page. Otherwise, write in your running note. Okay. And next is coniferous forest. So, dear students, we will discuss rest of the topics in the next session. And today, what you supposed to do is please get your textbook and go through the chapter once. Okay, read the chapter thoroughly. Possible, write a summary of this lesson, and it's easy for you to understand in the next class. Okay, fine. Now you have biology class. All of you get ready with your note. Are you all happy or sad? Again, very gloomy faces. Repeatedly, we have to do meditation or huh? Okay, fine.
Good morning, one and all. Welcome to Shanavi Learning Services, and happy Kartika Purnami and Guru Nanak Jayanti, one and all. Today we are going to discuss about connective tissue. So in last class we have discussed about epithelial tissue. Okay. So I would like to recall for 2 minutes about epithelial tissue. Here, epithelial tissue, you can observe. Epi means outer, thelium means tissue, and we can see this tissue, skin, okay, lung alveoli, lining of mouth, blood vessels, kidney tubules. Okay, skin, lung alveoli, lining of mouth, blood vessels, kidney tubules. I'm talking about epithelial tissue, what we have discussed in last class. Here, epithelial tissue classified into these three types of tissues like squamous epithelial tissue, cuboidal epithelial tissue, columnar epithelial tissue. Okay, so we have discussed already about epithelial tissue and classification also. Squamous epithelial tissue, cuboidal epithelial tissue, and columnar epithelial tissue. Here, sometimes, do you know, sometimes a portion of epithelial tissue folds inwards. Okay, folds inwards inside. Sometimes a portion of epithelial tissue folds inwards and form a multicellular gland. Multi, already you know about what is multi and what is unique. More than one cell is a multicellular. So here, by folding inwards, it is forming like multicellular gland. Hence, it is called glandular epithelium. Glandular epithelium. Okay. As we have discussed in last class about activity 3, columnar epithelium. Okay, let us recall once again activity 3. See here, we have to take a permanent slide of a columnar epithelium. Okay, from the side box and observe it under the microscope. See, with the title we can find out the particular picture here. What just to observe columnar epithelium here, column there, just like. Okay, draw the figure that you have observed. Here it is given like in shortcut because already what procedure we have followed for the previous activity, like that procedure how to follow by taking the permanent slide from slide box and observe microscope. While you are observing, don't forget to draw rough sketch diagram in your observation book or note. So draw the figure that you have observed under the microscope. How are the cells arranged? Okay, do you find any hair-like projects on the outer surface of epithelial tissue or epithelial cells? This type of cells are present wherever absorption and secretion occurs. Okay, absorption and secretion. Absorption taking inside, secretion leaving out. Try to think where this type of epithelial tissue present in our body. Okay, try to think where the columnar epithelial cells are present. Okay, do you know the skin is also a kind of epithelial tissue? We discussed already, where nails and hairs grow from. Okay, where nails and hairs grow from, that also kind of a epithelial tissue. The scales of fish, reptiles, snakes. Okay, not snacks, it is snakes. Okay, and feeders of birds also grow from epithelial, right? Also grow from skin area. So that also kind of a epithelial tissue. Okay, so that those are growing from epithelium. These are modified epithelial tissues. These are modified epithelial tissues. You learn more about them in the chapter adaptations in different ecosystems. Adaptations in different ecosystems. See, we can observe in our surroundings the big and tall trees which consist leaves also. What about the desert plants? Is there water source like our surroundings in desert area? No. They scarce in water. Abundance of water is less. So to survive, however, all organisms can try for survival life, right? So to survive their life, to prevent loss of water, that the desert plant can make or can modify their leaves into thorns like structures. By making that, the desert plants which are present in the desert area, they are prevent the loss of water. If that leaf bigger in size, there is a we can expect more loss of water. So those are modifying desert area plants are modifying that leaves into plants or sharp like structures. So by that modification, they are preventing the loss of water. So this is one of the adaptation. So this is adaptation in desert system. In desert ecosystem, like the terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem, like grassland ecosystem, many are there. Let us discuss about that particular grassland, desert, aquatic, and terrestrial. All are in chapter adaptation different systems. Just I have given example for idea. Okay, deeply we can discuss in adaptations in different ecosystems. So like that. Here, let us go for that. The second main tissue, that is a connective tissue. Connective tissue. If you tilt your body, if you tilt your body, tilting means what? Here, bending a side or a slope like over a common cut. Okay, like just like if you tilt your body, if you bend your body aside, if you bend like a slope your body aside, if you tilt your body to any side of your body, any side, left, right, front, back, what will happen to your internal organs? Is there any displacement? Is there any displacement in your lungs? Is there any displacement in your heart? Is there any displacement of your any other internal organs? If you bend, if you tilt a left side of your body, if you tilt a left side of your body, is your heart or lungs or any internal organ is bending left side or displacing the left side or changing their places? No. Why did you think? As I given like idea about this in starting class. Okay, let us go briefly about that to know whether these organs are bending aside, like displaying aside or not. Of course, you just tilt a side of your body and check is there any displacement of your heart? Is there any displacement of your lung, any internal organ? And you check now. No. Okay. So you will exactly give a no answer. So why that is? Let us know. Okay. If you know about the connective tissue, if you study about the connective tissue briefly, then you will get the answer for that. Okay. So here, if you tilt your body to any side of your body, what will happen to your internal organs? Is there any displacement? The internal organs are located at a specific places. The internal organs are located at a specific places without any displacement in organs. Okay, na? The internal organs are located at a specific place without any displacement in organs. Why without any displacement in organs? If you tilt your body left side or right or front, back, anywhere, any side, here because of connective tissue. Connective tissue, that organs are covering with the connective tissue. The connective tissue is binding that organs and keeping in a particular position in place without displacing to left or right or anywhere. Without taking any displacement, those are keeping in a proper place. So without taking displacement, this connective tissue is helping for that internal organs. Internal organs. Okay. Let's go for next slide. See, here we have discussed already and we have observed, is there any displacement in organs? Exactly, there is the answer. There is no displacement of organs. Why? Due to connective tissue. Who is the reason behind that? Connective tissue is the reason. The tissue, the connective tissue connect organs and muscles. Connective tissue connect organ and muscle. Your connective tissue is connecting the organ and muscle. These tissues are called connective tissue. What is mean by connective tissue is my question. What will be the answer for that? Yes, the tissue. The tissue which connect organs and muscles is called connective tissue. The tissue which connects organs and muscles. The tissue is called connective tissue. Here, connective tissues help in binding. Here, connective tissues help in binding the other tissues. Okay, connective tissue is helping in binding the other tissues and organs together. Connective tissue help in binding the other tissues and organs. Here, as we have discussed, this tissue connects organs and muscles. Muscles also made with tissues only, no? So, with respect to do that, connective tissue help in binding the other tissues and organs. Other tissues and organs. Okay. So, connective tissue help in binding the other tissues and organs together. Connective tissues help in binding the other tissues and organs together. Other tissues and organs together. And provide a framework and support to various organs in the body. Provide a framework. Connective tissues help in binding the other tissues and organs together and provide a framework and it will give support to various organs in the body. Various organs in the body. These tissues also these tissues also play a major role in the transport of materials from one tissue to another. See, this tissue also helping in the transportation. This tissue also play a major role in the transport of materials from one tissue to another tissue. They also help in the body defense. They also help in the body defense and body repair. Okay. and storage of fat also. So fat also can be stored in this tissue. Okay, fat also can be storage. They also help the body defense, body repair, and storage of fat. There are different types of connective tissues. How do we have the there are different types of epithelial tissue okay. So likewise here connective tissue also have the different types of tissues. How the epithelial tissue, how the different of tissues like squamous, cuboid, columnar epithelial tissues. Likewise here connective tissue also have different types. Okay, there are different types of connective tissues, each performing a different function. As we know, group of cells combine together form a tissue, and so different tissues can perform different functions. So a group of cells which are similar in structure and function, they will form as like groups, and those groups, particular group is a that particular group is a tissue. So likewise, which are in same structure and function, they will form as like group. That group is considered as a tissue, and one more group which will have same function and structure, that will form as a tissue. So that likewise, different type of tissues can perform different functions. There are different types of connective tissues, each performing a different function. How do glassware items carry for long distance? Just you think. Okay, how do glassware items carry for long distance? Areolar tissue is one type of connective tissue. Here first one is areolar tissue. Areolar tissue. Okay. So here areolar tissue is one type of connective tissue which joins different tissues. Which joins different tissues. It helps in packing and helps to keep the organs in place. Areolar tissue is one of the type of tissue which comes under connective tissue. Areolar tissue is one type of connective tissue which joins different tissues. Which joins different tissues. It helps in packing and helps to keep the organs in place. It helps in packing. It helps in packing and also helps to keep the organs in place. Okay. If there is no areolar tissue, nothing but there is no connective tissue, maybe what you would expect if you tilt a side of your body, then which side you are tilting, which you are bending, that side we can expect that the internal organs can also displace. The displacement also will be happen if there is no connective tissue. So here areolar tissue is one type of connective tissue which joins different tissues. It helps in packing and helps to keep the organs in place. Helps to keep the organs in place. These cells are called which are helping to keep the organs in place and packing. These cells are called fibroblast. Fibroblast. Okay. What are the functions of fibroblast? If I give you a question, what will be the answer? The connective tissues which are helping in packing and keeping the organs in place. that tissue is called, that particular cells are called fibroblasts. That cells are called fibroblasts. Okay, fibroblasts. Fibroblast. Okay. So what are the fibroblasts? Cells are present in areolar tissue. Cells present in areolar tissue, and see children, they secrete fibrous material also. They secrete fibrous material also. Fibroblast can secrete fibrous material also. Okay. Okay, fine. These are the major components in this type of connective tissue. Okay, these cells are secret fibrous material. These cells are fibroblast cells, also like secret fibrous materials which holds the other tissues in position. The tissue, connective tissue, which help in the body to keep the organs in place. In that tissue, the cells which are helping in the packing and keep the organs in place, those cells are called fibroblasts. These are the major components in this type of connective tissue. These cells secretes fibrous material also. These cells secrete fibrous materials also. Then what is the use of fibrous materials, sir? Is which help in the holding the other tissues in position. Which holds the other tissues, other tissue in position. Fibrous materials can secrete the fibrous material that is which holds the other tissue in position. These cells also help in repair of the tissues. These cells also help in repair of the tissues when they are injured. When they are injured, these fibroblast cells also helping in the repair also. So these cells can help in the repairing also. Okay. So children, here areolar tissue is given. Look at the screen, all of you, and observe carefully. Okay. Here areolar tissue, yellow elastic fiber, phagocyte. What that? Phagocyte. Next, white fibers and fibroblasts. Fibroblast. Next, mast cell. In areolar tissue, we can observe the labelings: mast cell, yellow elastic fibers, phagocytes, and white fibers and fibroblasts. Okay, areolar tissue. The muscles in our body are attached. The muscles in our body are attached to the skin and bone by this type of tissue. We can see this type of tissue around blood vessels and nerves. There is a chance to come this type of questions, where we can see this type of tissues around blood vessels and nerves. Around blood vessels and nerves. Okay. See, these muscles in our body are attached to the skin and bone. The muscles in our body are attached to the skin and bone by this type of tissue. Which tissue is helping the muscles in our body are attached to the skin and bone? Exactly this type of tissue only. Areolar tissue. Areolar tissue is helping the muscles in our body are attached to the skin and bone. Areolar tissue is helping to attach the skin and bone. Okay, the muscles in our body are attached. The muscles in our body are attached to the skin and bone by this type of tissue. This tissue is helping the muscles to okay, this type of tissue we can see this type of tissue around the blood vessels and nerves. Around the blood vessels and nerves. This is important, children. Okay. So where we can see this type of tissue around the blood vessels and nerves. Okay. What about epithelial tissue? Skin, lining of mouth, blood vessels, kidney tubules, and lung alveoli. Okay. But here, this areolar tissue, which comes under connective tissue, we can see this type of tissue around the blood vessels and nerves. Blood vessels and nerves. Okay. Next, see here. Interesting. As we have discussed, it will help in the storage of fat also, or the fat is storage in this tissue. Okay. So here we have a adipose tissue. Why do old people shiver more in winter when than youngsters? See, very interesting. Why do old people shiver more in winter season? In this season, this is a season now. Why do old people shiver more in winter when than youngsters? Is there any special arrangement to prevent the escape of heat energy during winter? See, actually, I will tell you what is the reason behind of that shivering of muscles. See, children, in our body temperature should be maintained normal. That is 37 degrees Celsius, right? I think 98.6 Fahrenheit. Okay, fine. In winter season, it will be decreased because of surroundings temperature is very cool. So that cool temperature will try to make us also cool. To maintain our body temperature into normal, then that shivering will take place. By shivering, that muscles energy will produce. Energy will produce. Energy means nothing but heat in the form of heat. So here heat will produce. During the shivering, heat will produce. That heat can be helpful to maintain our body temperature in normal. Okay, at that time we require that temperature because surroundings are very cool. To maintain our body temperature in normal, then our muscles will take shivering. Okay, so here why do old people shiver more in winter when than youngsters? Is there any special arrangement to prevent the escape of heat energy during winter? Okay, to get answers for these questions, we have to know about a adipose tissue. Then it will get clarified. Fat storing adipose tissue is found below the skin and between internal organs. So children, below the skin, fat storage is, of course, like not a problem. Not a problem means I'm not wishing to store more fat. So when compared to here, I'm taking comparison in between this and that, like the fat storage below the skin and between internal organs. So the fat storage below the skin, okay, no problem. But the fat storage between internal organs is very dangerous. It means little what fat will be storage. No, nothing, not a problem, nothing a problem. Okay, but excess of fat, I'm telling you, excess of fat is not good for health. So fat storing adipose tissue is found below the skin and between the internal organs. Internal organs. The cells of this tissue, the cells of this tissue are filled with fat globules. This adipose tissue, the cells of this tissue are filled with fat globules. Storage of fat also act as insulator. Storage of fat also act as a insulator. Here we have to discuss about insulator. Storage of fat also act as a insulator. Okay. So storage of fat as act as insulator. What is insulator here? You have listened this word in physical chemistry. For example, you are taking or you are pouring that hot water or tea which is in hot into the thermoflask. So this heat will be continued for a particular time. So what is the reason behind of that? So take a normal water bottle and take same tea or water with the same temperature after heating. Same as it is that material only you can take same into the thermos, a thermoflask. If you observe after half an hour or 1 hour, the tea or water which have taken in normal bottle is getting dark, like a cool. Because if you feel that a water bottle inside is system and outside area total surrounding, and that water bottle walls are borderlines. So from system, from water bottle inside to surroundings through water bottle walls, here it is changing. Okay. System to surroundings or surrounding to system. That's why there we can see the changing in the heat of the particular materials. But in thermoplasma, there is no transferring of heat from system to surrounding or surrounding to system through border lines, nothing but through bottle walls. In thermoplasma, unlike a bottle, okay, in thermoplasma, the hot water or any tea, if you observe, after 1 hour also it will be continuing with the same temperature almost all. Because in normal water bottle, from system to, as I told us, a bottle inside is a system. According to that, outside is a surroundings, bottle walls are border lines. So from system to surroundings or surrounding to system, there is transferring of heat is occurring. But here in thermoplasma, there is no transfer of heat from system to surroundings or surroundings to system through border lines, nothing but through body walls. Why it is not taking place? Because that particular thermoflask bottle inside insulator coating will be there. Insulator coating will be there. So due to insulator coating, there is no change of heat from system to surrounding to system, because that will not allow the heat inside to out or outside to in. Okay. So insulator is nothing but which don't have conductivity. Okay. There is no conductivity in insulator. That is a insulator. So here, likewise, no passing of power, or no, there is no conductivity of heat through the insulator. So that is the insulator. And here, internal organ, the internal organs, the cells of these tissues are filled with fat globules. Storage of fat also act as a insulator. Storage of fat also act as a insulator. Fat storing adipose tissue. Fat storing adipose tissue. Okay, fat storing adipose tissue we can found below the skin and between the internal organs. Below the skin and between the internal organs. The cells of this tissue are filled with fat globules. A storage of fat also act as insulator, as I told, just give an idea about that insulator. Okay, which doesn't have the conductivity. Okay, so there is no conductivity. That's why through that layer which is applied in thermoplast inside which is applied with insulator, or insulator coating is there. So that's why there is no displacement of temperature from system to surroundings, nothing but thermoplast inside to outside and outside to inside. So like that here, this fat also act as an insulator. It is also not allow the particular temperature. Are all tissues how the insulator is working in thermoplast? Here also it will work. Storage of fat also act as insulator. Okay. Are all tissues in our body not only for heat but also about other materials also like so here how insulator is working in the thermoplast, like that here storage of fat also act as a insulator. Are all the tissues in our body smooth and soft? Which tissue gives a definite shape to body of vertebrates? Here vertebrate, nothing but which organism will have vertebral column? Here backbone vertebral column is nothing but. Okay, so as a time up, I'm going to wind up the session. So let us continue in next class about vertebrae, and bone is another tissue of a connective tissue, and all about bone and bone marrow and some more interesting things, facts. I'm going to teach in next class. Okay, thank you, one and all.